Okay, let's submit our form and we will check. There are two ways to submit a form. First, we will check our first way, and the second one that we will use a second way to check. So before submitting a form, let me in the controller. Here we will use a request. So our use illuminate HTTP request. So it is a request that will be submit from form. So we use a request and variable request. So and die dump our request variable. It will be a object. Okay, save it and come to our create form online runner. And before submitting, let me show you that we are submitting this form to company.store root. So this root this root which goes to company's controller store method, and we name it company.store. When it is in a controller, so we have a store method and we are getting the request and we are dumping that request. We are kill that page and show the request that is coming from the farm. Okay, submit. So when we submit, so the request is the object and the parameter request bag that is coming, the two parameters. One is the token, so that we are here we are giving CRS field token, and the other one is the name of the farm that we are getting, which is online runner. So that's great that we are getting our farm quest. So okay, so first let's check to validate our farm, and this validate and we will give our request object request, and we will pass an array, close the statement, and we will say the field name that we are getting from our farm input field. Its name is a name, and name is, we say, required, and pipe sign to use another rule will be a unique, and unique, and it will unique in companies table, and the field is name. So save it. Let's check in our browser, and we will submit a blank form. When we submit, percentage unexpected required unique uh, name. So let's add our company model. Use app company model. So this validate our request, and it is array name required. So let me erase this and first check it is required. So submit blank and parse and syntax unexpected required. So I think there is an issue. We are not using the operator. So save it and let's check once more time. So the name field is required. So it's now working. Okay. So we also have to check that unique. The name should be company name unique, and it will get from a company's table. And we have to now we have to pass now an string and another string. So we have to continue it, and we have to check the auth user and the ID will be the user ID. So, okay. So we have to now check the company name if already exists. So which company name? The company name that belongs to that user or the currently logged in user. We will check that the currently logged in user and his or this user ID will be the user ID that is in the company table. And if we go to our database, so in our database, so this user ID, this user ID, so the authenticated that the logged in user ID will be the user ID in a company's table. So here, this user ID, if it is matched, then it can validate and it will find the uniqueness of this company because we have a name of the company is unique. So I hope so that makes sense. Okay, after validation, we here it is string one string and other string dot auth user ID. Here is the problem. Dot continue comma this user ID. Now it's correct. Okay, now we have to include this auth facade, and I will press my function key PHP companion function. So it will prompt you to what you want to. I want to include this file illuminate support facade auth. So see the auth facade is now included in our file. We have also included our model company, so where we want to send data. Okay, and let's create a variable company is equal to new. We are instantiating a company model. So company will be in a company model, and we have to find the user ID, because in a company table we will require a user ID. So who has created this company? So we can find it by using auth facade user helper function and the currently logged in user ID. So when we have a user ID, so we can, because we have create an instance of our company model. So now we can access all the fields of company model. So we say company name is equal to the request that we are getting from our farm, and it will be in a request there is a field name which name is name, and so company company user ID. Company user ID will be the ID of that we have in our variable user ID. So make sure these fields should be the same that is in our database. So name and user ID. So we have a company model. We are instantiating, creating an instance of a company model in a company. So this variable now have access all the fields: ID, user ID, name, created and updated. We can access it by creating a reference to company name, and it will be equal to the request that we are getting from our farm, and it will be the name. And it's in the same way, user ID in a company table, and it will be equal to user ID that will be currently logged in user, which is auth user ID. And by using a facade auth, we can get the ID of the currently logged in user. So when both fields that we have, so we can die dump, and let's check that we are exactly getting true value company, and we will use the method, a save method, to helper function to create a company in our database. So save it. Okay, come to our browser, and here hit enter online Rana, submit it. So parse syntax error unexpected comma here in our unique companies. Okay, let's go to user ID, concatenate name, companies. Okay, let me remove first, and we will add later. First we'll check our main functionality. Okay, save it and come to your browser, refresh. Unexpected, lots of error. Save it, come to browser, refresh. So let's see, online Rana, submit, and true. So we are now can save this value to our database. Okay, in our database, in our company table, so see, it has created first. Oh, let's drop this, delete selected, and we will set it from index, where it is, from 1. So save it, come to data and remove it, refresh. So let me refresh the database. So no field. Okay. Online Rana and submit. So it is true, and this time it will not goes to a database because we are dumping. Why? But why this is in our database? Okay, let's check. Die dump. It is die dumping and also save in our database. That's why, and it's sending the message of true that you have sent the data to our database. Okay, let's remove one more time, and it's my mistake. Apology for my mistake, the wrong concept. Sometimes it happens. Refresh. So it is empty, and let's start from 1. Where is option 1? Save it. Come to data, and let's come to our browser. Remove it, and here we will not. Let's comment in control and / it will comment it, and we will use comment okay company, and we will use a save method to save the data. So close this, and when the data will be saved, so we will return redirect back. So back is function to return the same pair from the request is come, and with the message. So message will be a new company created. So now we will create this company and we will check because we have not set our error messages. So we will set in the next video. So stay tuned.